Good day, everyone. I am Alvin Insorio, Master Teacher 2 at San Pedro Location Center National High School, together with my co-authors, Cheryl C. Manaloto and Jeanette J. Larenya. It's our honor to present to you our research entitled Exploring Work Immersion at Home, Humanities and Social Sciences, Compliance, Difficulties, and Evaluation. Okay, for the background of the study, senior high school grade 12 students must experience work immersion before graduation as prescribed by DEP and Order number 30, series of 2017, stated that work immersion is a required subject for senior high school students before graduation. Work immersion is the best avenue to hone and develop student skills according to Mahagway and Magway 2020. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the government do not allow work immersion on the company, business, or school under community quarantine. The student must stay in their houses and experience work from home. This is a big challenge for the work immersion teachers on how to bring the work-related experience to the comfort of students' house. For the background, so work immersion at the time of pandemic must be done at the home since the community quarantine was not lifted, based on Division Memorandum 90 Series of 2021. By work immersion, students were expected to expose and be familiarized with the work environment relevant to their chosen specialization. The researchers tried to find out how successful was work immersion of grade 12 HUMSS students was done at their home in terms of their compliance, difficulties encountered, and evaluation. So, on the other hand, in San Pedro Location Center National High School, main campus, the grade 12 HUMSS students were required to take work immersion subject in second semester. Face-to-face interaction was prohibited in school and institution partner in which they were not catering the students for work immersion. So the said school must find ways on how to bring work immersion to students' home. According to Vecino and Dormal 2020, so insufficient evidence was established regarding the extent of the implementation of work immersion. There are previous studies conducted regarding work immersion which focus on technical vocational livelihood or STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It is better to undergo a deep investigation regarding the student work habit, competency development, and common problem encountered during the implementation of work immersion according to Gamboa et al. 2020. For the research gap, no study has been conducted on how work immersion can be done at home since work immersion at home is done during the pandemic time, particularly in HUMSS. It is timely to make an action research to address the problem, which is assigned with the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. This study aimed to explore the compliance, difficulties, and evaluation of humanities and social science students in work immersion at home in the new normal. Specifically, the specific questions are, what is the level of compliance of the students during work immersion at home in terms of accomplishment of portfolio and work immersion guide as output? What are the mean score of the student in the two summative tests? What are difficulties experienced by the student in terms of work habit, family support, and supervisory support? What is the evaluation of the students in work immersion at home in terms of implementation and competency development? So this study believed on experiential learning theory of COLD. So to make experiential learning theory possible, the new normal situation, the conceptual framework PDSA model was used in this study. So from the pre-implementation, so the researchers create group chat, meeting with the HUMSS teacher and for the work immersion plan, have consultation with the student and parent, do profile of students based on the prepared career, and distribute the materials for work immersion. Under implementation stage, so virtual orientation was held in grade 12. Virtual meetings with the parents and students and HUMSS for teachers was done. Series of webinars and online meetings are conducted, and accomplishment of portfolio and work immersion guide and summative test administration. Under post-implementation, so the students are asked to make concept paper, retrieve the outputs on the school, then the researcher conducts survey and interview, analyze the submitted output, analyze data. For the future action, so reflect on the students' feedback, comments, and suggestion, make an action plan for the next research cycle, craft mechanism for the next work immersion cycle, share findings in the school conferences, session, faculty meetings, and present in conference and publish the research paper. Okay, so this research is practical action research designed on exploring students' compliance, difficulties, and evaluation in work immersion at home of the HUMSS students in the time of health crisis. The respondents are grade 12 HUMSS students, 156 out of 160 students who underwent work immersion at home in San Pedro Location Center National High School, school year 2020-2021. So the set students are expected to have work immersion in the industry or partners institution, but due to the health crisis, this was not possible. So to address the problem, the school official decided to bring work immersion at home using printed materials and online platforms. The participant selection survey was voluntary and done without any favor or exchange. Then the research instrument, which are validated by the expert and pilot tested to the non-participants. First is the survey questionnaire and via Google form to determine the demographic profile, compliance, difficulties, and evaluation of the students on the work immersion at home. So validated by 3 head teachers in terms of pace and content validity, pilot tested to 1 private school. So to determine the internal consistency using Cronbach Alpha. Another instrument is the 25-item summative test for 3rd and 4th quarter was administered to measure the acquired competencies. Moreover, teacher records and interview were utilized to support the findings of the study. So for data gathering, a letter of permission was secured to the school head, signed by the head teachers, followed by communication with all work immersion teachers was done. Administration of summative tests was done every quarter. Students' output were collected at the end of the work immersion implementation period. The survey questionnaire was distributed via Google form through group chats. Semi-structured interviews were conducted. For analysis, quantitative, so we use frequency, percentage, weighted mean to describe data, Kolmogorov-Smirnov and Shapiro-Wig for normality of data, Kruskal-Wallis-H test, and Mann-Whitney-Hughes test for significant difference when the respondents are grouped according to sex and area of interest. For qualitative data, so we have manual coding for the thematic analysis was used. Moreover, member checking was done to establish the credibility of qualitative data by returning the transcript and analysis the participants and elicit their agreement on what transpired on the data analysis. So let's have now result. Depicted in table 4, the data that resemble normal distribution since the p-value are less than 0.05 level of significance. It means non-parametric test of difference is most suited to use rather than parametric test counterpart. Based on the table 5, most of the students were able to submit complete portfolio and work immersion guide as a requirement of work immersion in grade 12. It means high compliance of students was observed in the implementation of work immersion at home through submission of requirements. We can begin from table 6 that the students passed the 2 25-item summative tests having the mean score of 18.87 and 21.37 respectively. Some students got the highest possible score in the 2 summative tests. In terms of challenges encountered, So they found it difficult to beat the deadlines of submitting outputs because students were preoccupied by household duties that they need to perform. They got distracted with the noise in the environment in their houses, experienced unstable internet connection, and found difficulty in performing the learning tasks. In terms of family support, they have experienced less assistance from their family in accomplishing the learning tasks because their parents are busy in work. Their guardian or parents seldom coordinate with the work immersion teacher to talk about their learning progress. Their parent limited their time on using devices to join in online webinars and meetings because they were expected to perform household chores every day. In terms of difficulties regarding supervisory support from the teacher, they experienced not loud and clear voice during the webinar and meetings caused by having unstable internet connection. They were also shy to ask questions and voice out their opinion. Some students have less communication with their teacher and receive late reply on their queries. They receive unclear direction on how to perform the learning tasks because not all of them were capable of understanding the instruction immediately. Table 10 reveals the students' evaluation of work immersion regarding its implementation as excellent. The students develop their good attitude, work habits, and appreciation towards work, which are aligned to their field of specialization. In Table 11, students evaluate work immersion concerning competency development as high, which means students develop the target learning competency as HUMSS graduate. In Table 12, statistical difference in work habits of students during work immersion at home exists through the Kruskal-Wallis H test with a statistical value of 15.249, p-value of 0.018, lower than 5% alpha. It means the student under human resource management develop more positive work habit compared to education group. In Table 14, no significant difference exists between male and female respondents. It means male and female students experience the same difficulties in terms of work habit, family support, and supervisory support. So for the conclusion, based on the findings, the students have high compliance with the requirement of work immersion at home, despite difficulties experienced. They pass two summative tests that manifest their learning competencies as HUMSS students. Difficulties like unstable interconnection, time management, noise distraction, difficulty of learning tasks, less parental assistance due to working parent, household chores, less communication with the teacher, unclear direction. These are the common difficulties. However, they evaluated the implementation as excellent and they developed competencies as HUMSS graduates. The study was limited to 5 sections in one school and implemented last for 4 months only. Since it was school-based action research, it's better if the next study is done in different school in wider scale to determine the gap and areas to improve when work immersion was done at home. It is suggested that the future researchers conduct similar study considering the limitation and the findings of this study from various institutions. Moreover, work immersion teachers should be always lenient and considerate to every student since they have different background and technological capabilities. Here's the action plan for the next research cycle. Here's our references. Thank you and God bless.